Hey everybody, this is H2, coach of the San Diego Sandiles, bringing you my Week 5 battle against Old Man Waffles and the Tempe Trevenants. So let's just get right into it without any further ado. This battle starts off a little bit weird, because we did have a DC about halfway through, which means a lot of these first turns are just trying to recreate roughly what happened, but because there was a lot of actually paralysis in the battle, we decided to just skip that altogether and just kind of waste turns simulating the turns we were paralyzed, in order to keep things consistent with like poison timers and such. So I lit off with my Nidoqueen. At first I was thinking I'd be able to either get rocks up, or just kind of click some moves and get a good matchup against most of his Pokemon. And as I see Druddigon, I decided to try to do as much damage to this as possible, just because Druddigon can do a lot of annoying things, including Glare, and I just want it to be gone. And actually, in the original battle, it did Glare me as I Toxiced it, and kind of wasted some turns with him trying to get a read on me switching out with a second Glare, and me end up getting paralyzed. So to recreate that kind of thing, I just click Toxic again, and he clicks over Stealth Rocks again on this coming turn, just to kind of waste time and keep things as close to the original as possible. And you're actually going to see quite a bit of that going forward with just us wasting turns. So we do want to take this time to say that going into this battle, I was thinking that he did not have a lot for Mega Altaria. And so I was thinking if I could set up with Mega Altaria, and he has a lot of Pokemon which Mega Altaria can set up on, if I can get that setup going, then I can do a lot of damage and probably even sweep his team if I can get the setting just right. So he does take out my Nidoqueen with his Earthquake. In the original, this turn, Druddigon actually went down to the Toxic, so Earth powered a little bit more in the original. And so we both just kind of waste this next turn where he goes for Rocks again, I go for T-Wave, just to let the Druddigon die for Poison, and we can be back where we were closer and continue the battle. Excuse me. So, as the Druddigon goes down, he goes into Crobat. Now, the point of this Klefki was to set up screens and to make it easier for my Altaria to set up. What I did not realize initially was that Crobat, because of its Infiltrator ability, can do as much damage as it wants regardless of screens. It just goes straight through screens. And so, I should, in the original I actually didn't realize that until quite a bit into the battle, where I was thinking, and, this Crobat's doing a lot more damage than it should be. But, yeah, I had set up. It wasn't until I set up both screens that I realized, oh wait, right, Crobat. And yeah, here he's just going for Sludge Bomb because in the original I had paralyzed him and it ended up with him wasting a lot of turns. And so to simulate that, I just clicked Foul Play a couple times to get him down to about the health he was at when the original DC happened. So I clicked Foul Play a couple times, just trying to put this, it was at about half, a little bit below half, and here I go for the effect again, wasting a turn as he ends up killing the Klefki with a Heat Wave. We are almost at the point where the DC happened, and here in the original battle I was thinking, you know what, both screens are up, I can go into my Altaria and start setting up in the face of this Crobat. In the original battle he had clicked Sludge Bomb and I had Dragon Danced in regular form, expecting him to do exactly that, which is why, to kind of just recreate that, he actually goes for Heat Wave and misses. When the DC happened I was at +2/+2, and I was at near full health. And so we agreed to try to get to that roughly that same position, with him just going for Heat Wave to try and do a small amount of damage that I can heal off. And here he does get the burn. He does not get the burn in the original battle, and that's actually kind of important, because now you might be thinking, oh, you got the burn in this recreation, that's a problem, because clearly this Altaria is a physical attacker, having a burn is going to be a problem. However, because he had a Rotom Wash on his team, a Rotom Wash which can run Scald and also commonly runs Will-O-Wisp, I put Facade on this Altaria, which means I'm now +2/+2 burn. I do Roost first to get up to a good amount of health, and this is roughly where the DC had happened originally. I think he Heat Waves this turn, and yeah, this was officially the last turn before the DC, so everything from here on out is genuine gameplay. But here, I'm +2/+2 with burn, with Facade, and I can just start just smashing through his team, which is exactly what I do. I click Facade, and the sweep begins. Banana Hammer is in, Banana Hammer is now. That was a very important critical hit, as you can obviously tell that Crobat would never have gone down for another that crit. My screens are down, which means if he has anything that does somehow outspeed or have priority over my Altaria, it can be a problem. I'm not sure why he went into Rotom here. Going into Incineroar and trying to shuffle out Intimidates would have been a lot smarter in my opinion, but he loses his Rotom, Billy Mays, and again, another very impactful crit. Not really, the crit did not matter in the slightest. He does go into his Incineroar, which gets the Intimidate off, which means I am now only at +1. I'm getting a little bit low on health, and I actually expected him to fake me out. So I just kind of clicked Roost, wanting to be at a little bit more health than I was. Here his Gardevoir comes in, traces Pixelate, very important, especially since it gets Pixelate anyway when it Mega Evolves. But yeah, I just go for a Roost. I really did not expect him to switch out. I expected him to have the Fake Out, but this tells me he doesn't have Fake Out. And now I did calculate, and even at +1, I can take out this Mega Gardevoir with my Facade. So he does Mega Evolve, get that big poofy dress. Mega Gardevoir is just a really cool, really nice design mon, but the quality of its design is not going to save it from this +1 burn Facade made from Mega Altaria. And Gardevoir goes down. Mega Altaria, Banana Hammer just ripping through my opponent's team. Here he does go back into his Incineroar, again, using that Intimidate to get me down to neutral. So at this point I only have +2 speed, but knowing that he doesn't have Fake Out and knowing that Incineroar can't really touch me, because I do have a lot of bulk on this Altaria, I can just kind of set up in his face with Dragon Dance and try to get myself back up to roughly where I was in terms of at least attack. As he just goes for an Earthquake, and you'll see it does a decent amount of damage. This is probably very max attack, maybe Adamant Incineroar, but it is less than half. So even with the burn, I can roost up and get to a good amount of health. He actually switches out here into his Staraptor. I'm not really sure why, because he could have kept up offensive pressure and not given me a free turn, but he does, and I roost, which puts me at near full again, and now I'm +1, near full health. He has this Staraptor and his Incineroar left. Staraptor not running Intimidate, he is running Reckless to get that Brave Bird power, but it does go down to my Facade. And finally, his last remaining Pokemon is the Incineroar, which, thanks to his Intimidate, is actually able to survive a Facade, but it is not going to be able to survive 2, and Banana Hammer is just going to claim Waffle's entire team. 5 KOs with Facade. That burn was super helpful for me. In the original, like I said, he did not burn me, but I did also have Return on this set, so it's not like I was completely screwed or anything. So, all in all, great battle to Waffles. It was a lot of fun. I'm glad I was finally able to get the Banana Hammer sweep that I've been trying to nearly every battle since I traded for it. But yep, this is a great win, a 4-0 victory. Great differential for me, putting me back up in the standings after my kind of embarrassing losses first 2 weeks. But yep, our winning streak continues. Things are looking good for the San Diego Sandiles. See you guys next week.